think my hopes for the therapy, the types of therapy that were going to be applied, my hopes were for them to be a little more aggressive and intense. And they might progress to that point. You know, I'm only here for 1 week so far. And this week obviously got much more intense than last week. So, you know, might just continue. Having said that, I did not have any hopes that the stem cells would come into his body and boom, he'll start doing things. I already had prepared myself for this is going to be a gradual change. It's going to build his strength. Having said that, he has done some things. And I do believe that positive people and attitudes produce positive results. I'm a firm believer in what you put out there, you get. I think there's no difference, though, in my experience, between the positive and effective therapy that he's getting here and what he gets at home at all. Maybe what he gets at home is even more intensive because they know him more and they know where his range is and how to push him here and there more than, you know, the people here do just because they're getting to know him. But I don't think that there's a placebo effect going on. I just think that each patient's going to respond to the therapies that are given. These are good therapies. You know, they're comparable to what we're getting at home. And I consider myself very lucky because I think I'm in a rare situation where I have a very good team working on my son, and I get a lot of it because I have good insurance, which is not the case for most people in the U.S. No, exactly. I mean, I have good, you know, you get a really good benefit when you're in the education system. So insurance is one of them. You know, they'll cover the intensive things, they'll cover the daily things. So like he gets an hour of therapy a day in addition to what the school system provides, which, yeah. I mean, I think the facilities are phenomenal. I think the care is great. I mean, I have no, Jack, one of the translators, came in here, a great guy, and he asked us, he goes, "Where are you guys from? Because you're a little different than the other Americans." And we were laughing, you know, and Felipe explained he was from Spain and that I was from the States, but that I'm not a typical American because I'm really open-minded and have traveled and lived other places. And we don't have the same hang-ups as a lot of the other families on the floor. And they're fine having those hang-ups, but we just don't have them. And maybe it's because we've lived and traveled a lot that we just don't have them. So I might not be the best judge of, like, how is this compared to what you expected? Because in Spain, they smoke in the hospitals as well. Okay, I know that. So, like, that didn't shock me here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't, like, appalled. Can you believe? Because it's like, oh, yeah, it's horrible. They shouldn't do it, but okay. Just so small things like that. The nurses in Spain don't always wear gloves to do every single procedure. You know what I mean? So there's just a lot of cultural things that I think people have to come here with an extremely open mind, knowing they're going to get a high quality of care and service and that their children are totally safe. With the facilities are very good and very helpful, nice people. And just know that not everything is like the United States, and it's different, and different doesn't mean worse. It just means different. So, yeah. He's had 1 IV stem cell treatment, and then 4 spinals, and then we added another one, and it had to be IV. So he's had a total of 6. We came with 5 planned, but we added 1 here because he was responding pretty well to them, and we're starting to see improvements. And the doctors were worried about seizures because he does suffer from seizures, but we did not see anything. So, you know, we've seen some slight improvements. His vision's improved, and he's become stronger in his torso, and he's able to, like, stand at a table and play now, which wasn't really possible before. So all good. Not at all a problem. He was in and out usually in 20 minutes and no side effects. No fever, no coughing, no throwing up. 6 hours after, for the first 2 treatments, he fell asleep and slept the whole time. And the other 2, he was awake, but it was the third one, the 3rd spinal, where he was most challenging because of the timing of it. Just the way the food timing fell. But even still, he's pretty good. so made it pretty easy on us. No, but I can't say that that's a stem cell issue. Najib does not suffer seizures continuously. He has one every 7-8 months, and when he has them, they're major. So until we're in the clear, like a couple years out, then I can't say, you know, that the stem cells really affected that. What they were concerned about were the stem cells causing more, just because we see his seizures come about when he makes some huge developmental stride. So he's made those without the seizures, so that's a good sign. Yeah. He just didn't have the strength in his body to sustain himself and engage with things. So having that together is huge. Physical therapist, before we got here, could keep him up on his own legs, and that was progressing, but she'd have to be there to catch him because he would wobble and fall after maybe a minute. And on multiple occasions now, we can leave him standing at a table for 10, 15 minutes.
He would crumble. That's awesome. But now he did this for like 15 minutes nonstop yesterday.
And if there's something on the table, he'll reach for it and try and engage it, which is a huge difference from how we brought him. So.
My bracelet. Can Najib get Mommy's bracelet?
Get it.
Oh! Let's not break Mommy's bracelet. Come on, get Mommy's bracelet?
It's just a improvement of quality of life, you know. Especially in his case, I see that I think the more we would continue with this, the longer term effects we'd see, you know. I came in, I can't speak for Felipe. I think he was a little more, like he had a little more riding on it than me. But I came in here saying that my attitude, and I know this was his attitude too, but I just have to try whatever's out there in the world at this point to help my son have a better quality of life. If it has a result, fine. And if not, then I will have done it saying, at least we tried, you know, and we'll keep trying. But right now, I've exhausted everything that's out there. So this is just a benefit, like a plus. Like, woo, cool, it worked, you know. It wasn't like, oh, better work, where I think, you know, Felipe initially was, I don't want to say looking for the miracle, but, you know, had hopes that this would have, like, you know, I think finally he started getting much happier when he himself actually saw him stand for a long period of time and went, oh my God. I'm like, see? Because I'd been going to therapy every day with him and all that, and he hadn't really seen it. So I told him, you gotta see it, you gotta see it, you know. This is normal from what he was doing, but you see Felipe's holding him. But like Felipe could stand him up at that table, and then you'll see how he'll either support himself on his elbows or push up and then try and engage whatever's on the table. Yeah, standing in completely independently, we've only gotten about 10 seconds worth, but that's even a big stride because he couldn't do that at all. It's a very comfortable, easy experience. And the only thing I miss, honestly, in terms of comfort is my bed, because these beds are horrendous, and it's because they're either hard or soft. And you know, we're bed snobs anyway, like even good hotels we don't sleep well in. So for us, it's a hard issue. But it like really, like my back hurts from neck all the way down to my tailbone. And yeah, TV, because there's a lot of hours. Those 6 hours become long. And I just really think, and I know this might be a Chinese government issue, but satellite TV for this floor would make a lot of sense. It doesn't have to be for the whole hospital, but CNN here and there would be a good thing to have, just to pass the time, you know. But no, it's been really a great experience. Very easy too. Like, I know previous people didn't have a Lottie Mart across the street, but that makes it super easy to, you know, fill whatever need you have, I guess. I don't know. I would encourage anyone who has the ability and the positive energy to help their child or themselves or a loved one with any kind of ailment to come and try it out. I mean, you know, our issue was to give him more motility, and he has slow vision, but we knew it would eventually come in, and it's done great things for his vision. So, you know, who knows how it's going to help? It's going to help out, and that's the bottom line, that you got to try. But the positive attitude and energy does, you know, that's what brings the miracles about. If you come here, it's not going to work. There are people who've arrived here who just have decided to be miserable and hate this place no matter what, and they're still miserable and hate this place. And there's those of us who've arrived saying it is what it is, let's just go with the flow, and it ends up being a great experience. So, you know, attitude has a lot to do with it. So.